Oh, this is Heresiarch. This is much more heresy than it is video gaming. Good day. Let's talk a little bit about No Man's Sky. As many of you know, this is their big 10-year anniversary, and we are expecting great, huge news coming down from above. And you will get it. The question is really more about what emoji or icon comes from Guildford to announce this. Is it going to be the equal sign, which would indicate, hopefully, that they've debugged the ambitious but spectacular Parallel Dimensions update? Or is it going to be the dollar sign? These are very different, and I don't mean to light no fires, but I'm gonna. Okay, so what does the dollar sign mean? And as usual, I won't be giving you any answers. What I will be doing is giving you questions that you know the answer to, and let you gather and surmise as you will, thus to achieve a better understanding and to be less risky in a legal sense. All right, well then, let's go back to the beginning, because there is a parallel arc that will, I believe, shed some light on what we're looking at going on right now with Hello Games. We're going to go back 10 years to a mythical and not related to anybody company called Hello Dipshits. And again, not related to any real company, and except maybe allegorically. And they don't think that you're dipshits necessarily, okay? Although the evidence is compelling. I mean, we've been on this expedition a month, and 90% plus of you people are still doing 3 missions a day when you're clearly only supposed to do 2, all right? So before you get upset with Hello Dipshits, just understand that they do know their demographic, so that's on you. So anyway, 10 years ago, let's look at another company that was next to them called, it's another imaginary company, and this one's called Mineshaft. Well, Mineshaft came out with a bare bones product, barely playable, not much to do, but they added on to it basically for free, although most of us have ended up buying it like multiple times. And they're very popular, hugely popular. They become one of the best-selling games of all times. And then suddenly he sells out and becomes an instant multi-billionaire. And that's billion with an O, all right? Now over here at Hello Dipshits, they do the exact same thing, right? The exact same programs, bare bones, flesh it out later, free upgrades, and they get shit on. I mean, they get shit on like it was a Microsoft update, you know. And I'm going to pause here for a minute. For those of you who are still playing the sabotage missions, hint, don't. For those of you, I'm going to explain what I just did there. It's called foreshadowing. It's a classic literary device. And by literary, I mean words and shit. Okay? Like books. You've heard of this, all right? So, I'm glad we got that out of the way. These guys here look at Marcus and they say, holy crap, we want to be trillionaires or at least billionaires someday, and that is billionaires with 3 eyes. And so we need to fix our image if we're going to achieve that. And so for the next 10 years, they put in a solid 6 or 7 years of hard effort, and they come out with a new product, a better product, and they become the comeback story of the century. not counting that other one, of course. But at any rate, they become a textbook example of how to do it right. They did it right. They got the people back on board. Not an easy task with gamers. You know how we are. But they did. Okay? 10 years later, how are they doing? They're doing great. They're well capitalized. They're this, they're that, the other thing. But they're still doing the grind in Guilford. And wouldn't they rather be doing, let's say, martinis in Malibu? I know what I'd do. Not in Malibu. Well, Malibu's a dump. But anyway, here nor there. Still better than Guilford. So let's say that they decide to dump everything and become trillionaires with the 3 eyes. Would they, for example, telegraph that? Would they tell you? No, they're not stupid. But they would tell you in other ways. They wouldn't tell you outright. But let's say, as a behavioral analyst, I can tell you this. Their actions will let you know what their next move is going to be. Okay? Let's look at their most recent action. You might say, is it, in fact, a normal expedition? Do you do normal expedition things? Is it the normal length of an expedition? The answer to all these is probably no. And here's why. It's both longer and shorter than any other expedition they've ever produced. It's 2 months long, but there's so little content, there's only 3 segments, and 2 of them don't even count. 2 of them take like an hour and a half, and the rest of the 60 days is grinding. And for those of you who know me from Ancient Gamer and Geezer games, when I say grinding, that's what the young people call an activity that's boring and repetitive, and you do it over and over again, which is what repetitive means for those of you, you know. But you get very little or any reward for it. It's basically what you and I would have called having a job back in the day, okay? So, is it popular? Not with me. Let's hesitate on that one for a moment and look at the other thing we mentioned is like, what else have they done differently? Split people into 3 groups and have them compete against each other. Well, the process itself was a bit laughable. I laughed. I do that. They have a little sorting hat where you take a quiz and it tells you what you are. The quiz is bogus, by the way. It means nothing. It's going to send you to whoever has the fewest people at that moment. And you know this for a couple reasons, but one of them is in real life, there's going to be 5% of people are going to be royals, 5% are going to be sages, and 95% are just going to be regular dipshits, okay? And I know that doesn't add up, but dipshits feel that they count for more than they really do, so give them a little slack. So, at any rate, we're looking at a bogus system that they are pretending is real, and bogus numbers that they're pretending are real, and we can prove that part. We know that. You can go out and do the experiment yourself today if you're so inclined. The other question is, like, okay, you're out there and you're competing with these other guys. How are you doing? Well, they have a little meter in the thing that'll show you, oh, you know, this and that. Or do they? Does that meter have any correlation to reality at all? Well, we've already seen what they did with the sorting hat, so probably not. The only way you're going to know for sure is to look at their daily count of players versus their progress of their little machine. And it should show a very strong correlation between the two. Does it? Does it even matter? Well, I can tell you this much. It might not, it doesn't matter. Does it matter if you come on every single day and play for your clade? Well, let me tell you this. Your clade is meaningless. It's like astrology. They tell you something about yourself and you internalize it immediately. I mean, like, oh, there's somebody out there going, ew, I'm a royal. Yeah, that makes sense because I like to tell people what to do. You know, and then there's some other guy, maybe in California, going, right on, dude, I'm a sage. I knew it. I'm sage as fuck. Yeah, yeah. And then there's some other guy going, A weaver. Yeah. Oh, a weaver. Weaver. Yeah. I guess because like I like cloth or something. Yeah. That's me. All right. Yeah. I'm a weaver. I guess. All right. I'm just having a little fun there. You know, that's all bullshit. All right. So you have these three clans fighting. Why? And the obvious reason is competition is the biggest driver of online presence. They want you online every day. And it doesn't have to be a lot. You just have to show up and do your 2 missions. Or 3 if you're stupid. You know, or 6 if you're dedicated and also stupid. You know, but it doesn't move the needle. You're not moving the needle. You're not improving the chances of your clan. I say Clade, I'm being facetious, obviously. Well, what does move the needle? Need moves the needle. The need of the parent game company, they need it to be a certain way, and it's going to be that way. All the effort you put in, whether you show up 3 times a day or not at all, won't make a day of difference of when that thing gets completed. That was an extraordinary commentary. I'm going to rephrase that. Does your effort matter at all? I don't know. Okay, so here's the deal. We've seen them go from pariahs to heroes, and now they're working as hard as they can to piss you off. And it's working. I've seen their comments. Why are they making us do this daily grind every day? Well, that's what daily means, dumbass. Okay, well, truthfully, it's the difference between a condo in Malibu and a condo in Maui for these guys, right? You're working for them to have a better life. And I don't begrudge them that at all. I'm going to keep doing it because I think video game designers are among the most noble of the professions, you know. Okay, sorry. All right. So what again? Let's get back to the topic. What are they spending this collateral on? And believe me, your goodwill and your trust are commodities that they can spend like any other commodity, right? And why would they spend your trust that they spent 9.5 years trying to regain? Well, that's a good question. The question I have is, are you still their players? That would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? If they're spending their trust, your trust in them, maybe you're not their players. Maybe you belong to Microsoft now. Oh, I said the M word. Apologies. Well, could be worse. Could be Zuckerberg. Or would that be worse? I mean, he's got a pretty decent headset, actually, and he's spent billions and billions of dollars trying to make it work. Maybe this is just what he needs to push it over the edge. I don't think so, though. We'll get back to that in a minute. So yeah, the question is the buyer already selected? Is the buyer already in the house? Is he right now bidding on this? And the answer has to be, I don't know. I don't work for them. But the question is, would any of this make sense if they don't have a buyer already lined up? Would it make sense to do a 2-month grind and slog, spending all their friendliness and goodwill capital that they've built up for nothing? Because after this ends, the player count goes down to normal, okay? The only thing that would make sense is for them to do it while the buyer is present. They're showing them, yes, we have this many people online, and that gives them leverage. They don't have any leverage once it goes back down to previous levels. So yes, the buyer is in-house. Negotiations are underway. They might have already been signed off. I don't know. No idea. These are just the questions that I would ask if it was me. And it is. So, worst case scenario. What is the worst case scenario? George Soros? Hardly. games are already too woke for him. He's not going to make any impact there. No one else. Elon don't care. The only ones I can see being interested at all would be Zuckerberg. And he could zuck this up, but I don't think so. I think Microsoft is still the only company that I'm willing to name that has a shot at this. And the reason I think so is, what did you say? Didn't they just fire their entire game division? No, they didn't. They purged it. There's a difference. The purge means they have new guys in there doing the same jobs. And much like one of Darth Vader's admirals, I believe these guys are a bit nervous about their position in life right now. So what would secure them the goodwill of the company? Could it be a fabulous game that everyone loves? Wouldn't that be a big score for them? Don't they need a big win right now? I think this is probably one of the more logical and likely answers is we're going to see that happen. Because they definitely have the capital, and some. Right now I see the Xbox fans. I used to be one too. The Xbox fans going, "Yeah, this is great. Microsoft has the capital to drive more content, and by goodness, they'll clean up all these bizarre little bugs that have been plaguing this game for the last 10 years, you know." And I feel that this is a very reasonable and well-considered position for somebody from the Hilbert's dimension where they've never even heard of Microsoft. That was sarcasm. Okay, so is it the end of the universe as we know it? I doubt it. Because even though there are many within the Xbox community who would love to see this be an Xbox exclusive, I don't believe Microsoft, who still owns Xbox at this point, would go along with it. I don't think that they would limit their sales in such a manner. Remember, above all, Microsoft isn't about software, it's about sales. So I think either way, it wouldn't be a bad thing. I don't know if it would be better than what we have now, but I don't see it as a terribly bad thing, as bad things go. Could have been so much worse. All right, that's about it. Now, if you want to see a little preview of the up-and-coming Parallel Dimensions update, which is spectacular and absolutely the hugest possible thing that they could ever have done, that'll be another video. That's going to be a big one, okay? So if you have any comments or questions, look me up on Gamer Geezer or Ancient Gamer, and or just stay tuned here on YouTube, and we'll answer as many of those questions as we possibly can. All right, until then. Are you still there? All righty then. I'll give you one. The most pernicious question I get on a regular basis is, will our bases be the same in other dimensions as they are in the prime dimension? And of course, as normal, I will answer your question with a question. Do you mean, are they going to be in the same locations as they are now? Or will they look and function the same as they do on this dimension? Okay? Now, next time you ask a question, it'll be a little better formulated, won't it? But, spoiler alert, the basements will be full of dirt in either case. All right, that's it. Bye. Time to go. All right, one more for those of you who use VR helmets. If you're using your VR helmet to pilot your spacecraft, you are going to hate the inverted dimension. You'll probably just go back to using a controller like everyone else. So that truly is it. Fade to black. Bye-bye.